This is my 1998 Chevy Silverado Z71 4x4. I bought this truck back in 2002, and it had about 110,000 miles on it when we got it. And since then, 9 years later, this truck has about 285,000 miles on it. This truck came standard with a 5.7 liter V8, which I'll pop the hood here so I can show you. This thing had a 5.7 V8, which is a 350 Vortec. But this is you got your air filter here, and you got all your other stuff here. But all this stuff was standard. This was replaced right here. All this here, this shiny stuff. For the 98, they had a problem with the intake manifold gasket cracking and deteriorating, and I actually had mine replaced last week over Thanksgiving break, so hopefully it'll last for a while. I'll go ahead and show you what the inside looks like here. But first off, I put the newer chrome wheels on the truck off of an 09 Silverado Z71. So this truck has the camel tan interior, and I'll show you what the mileage looks like on this here. So 285,758 is the mileage on it. And this truck, I mean, it has the bench seat in the front, and then it has the bench seat in the back. I'll show you what that looks like here. The shell on the truck came off of a GMC that I had prior to buying this, and I mean, it's a pretty cool truck. I mean, I like it. That's what that looks like inside, and I put the sheep covers on just to kind of help protect the seats. I'm going to go ahead and fire this thing up so you can hear what this thing sounds like here. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it, but we'll try it. If I can get my keys out here. So this thing, basically this truck runs like it's brand new. This thing is kind of airtight in here, so it may sound kind of weird, but this thing runs pretty good. I mean, I'll rev it up here so you can hear it. So let's go around the block so you can kind of see how this thing drives. I'm going to try to hold the camera here and drive at the same time, which will be kind of fun. And away we go. This thing has a real loose steering, so it's very easy to turn. And this thing, it has a tendency to oversteer if I'm not careful here. So let's go ahead and go this way. This thing drives pretty good for a 1998, but this truck, I mean, it has its faults. I mean, it has dents and scratches, and the four-wheel drive on this truck works pretty good, but sometimes it doesn't want to really back up and reverse any faster than 5 miles an hour, and it's not really meant to anyway, but it's like whatever. This truck, I mean, it runs pretty good. And we've pulled, I had a 23-foot boat that I used to pull with it, and just did all kinds of stuff with it. So we'll just kind of sit here and wait on this light to change over. But this truck, when it came standard, this was the last year for the 1998 Silverado, was the last year that they made the 5.7 liter V8. And then they changed it over to a 5.3 liter V8, and they just increased the torque on it to make up for the smaller engine. And from the 5.3, then it went to a 6 liter, and then from there it went to a 6.6. The 6 and the 6.6 liters are both diesel. This is an unleaded. So I mean, this truck, this was kind of the sweeter of the deal. I don't really hot rod this truck, but sometimes if I gun it, this thing it does pretty good for its age. Yeah, the only stuff that I have to really, that I've had to replace that was major, was the intake manifold gasket, and the power steering has a tendency to go out fairly often, and that was kind of a headache. But like I said, the steering is pretty loose. I mean, one finger can turn the wheel pretty good. So we should be going in a minute here. See if I can make this turn easily. Okay, so that was a little bit of a gun there. This truck, when it goes, the engine really roars on this truck, but I mean, it doesn't seem like it from inside here, but outside it's pretty loud. This truck, I have a lot of fun with this truck, because this truck, a friend of mine has a 1990 Silverado, and his truck has a 5.7, just like mine, but his has about 250,000 miles on it, and his truck has a lot more problems than mine, so I always make fun of him for that. But overall, this truck is pretty fun. I mean, there's not much I can say that I don't like about this truck. And this truck, for being pretty old, I've seen quite a bit of the 90s model Silverados that are still around, but they've usually had an overhaul, and this truck hasn't had an overhaul in its engine. So I mean, it's pretty good for a truck this old. So, well, this is just about the end of this video. I'm gonna shut this off in a minute, but bottom line, this truck it's pretty good. I mean, this truck, I haven't had any problems, and there's nothing I can really say about Chevy that I don't like, except for just that fact that they quit making this engine, and they don't put them in the new trucks anymore. So that's about it for now. I may post a video later on about this truck, but for right now, this is it. So see ya.